Welcome back to Whiskey Sports, episode 10. I'm here with my main man, Rhett. How you feeling today?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Got some big games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Tiny bit of a struggle last weekend on the picks, but
yeah.
I mean, who is to guess? In the NFL playoffs, there that be that many blowouts?
It wasn't even fun
I
to
was like,
watch.
I was really what?
Wasn't even fun to watch.
I know I was really excited about the weekend. I was like, this is going to be one of the best playoffs in years. And then a lot of the games are blowouts. I mean, probably what 6 of 8 were blowouts.
Yep. I tell you, I think everybody that's supposed to be where they're. I'm sorry. Everybody's supposed to be where they're supposed to be right now. Besides the 49ers, I hated that the Cowboys lost.
Why? I mean, they got dominated. Like, yes, they
They
came
did.
back there at the end. Dak doing what he does. He gets empty stats.
It just blows my
Regardless of
mind
the fact.
with the roster that they have that they just cannot. They just
It's
don't do it.
discipline, man. It's clearly discipline. And Mike McCarthy's teams seem to always be undisciplined.
Yeah.
They took a chance on a coach who got one championship with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. And I think that's where they may have been faulting themselves because, I mean, the most penalized team in the league the last 2 years that he's been the coach, they had 12 penalties, and they were clearly even his quarterback that he should be teaching is clearly unprepared for the moment there at the end of the game. You got to know you got to give the ball to the ref. That's something you learn very early. Hand the ball to the ref. They have to touch it. You can't just spot the ball yourself.
I did not know that the ref had to touch it. That's something I
You
learned.
think they can spot the ball
Well,
themselves?
I mean, I no, but I just didn't realize that referee has to touch the football.
Yeah,
And
they can spot. I mean, the player spotting it, they can put it anywhere.
that is true.
If the player's going to spot it,
Yeah.
and you can't blame the refs there for not running a 3.740 to get there in time when you're the one who ran a QB draw with 14 seconds left, no timeouts, and ran it 30 yards down the field. Maybe run it 15, slide, and then you have enough time to spike the ball and then launch one in the end zone. But to be honest with you, I don't like the Hail Mary from the 25-yard line. It's the field's too condensed. You can't get enough air on the football. If you have that many, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was very surprised with how long he ran. The ref did bulldoze him over. It was kind of funny to watch, but
Well, he's trying to get to the ball. He was trying to help them.
I know. Yeah. They shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. They should have been blowing out the 49ers. He let Jimmy G beat them. They have no excuses. They should have won that game. I think they're the better team, but
49ers are a damn good football team, dude. They really are. They have a great defense and they have an awesome God, Deebo Samuel's just an animal. That dude can play some football.
Juwan Jennings coming in all of a sudden.
Juwan's their third down guy. They're going to go to him every time. In that game, I don't think I tweeted it out, but I went with the hometown guy and it's over 24 and a half receiving yards. Not that he gets a lot of volume, but he does get a lot of those third down catches. I mean, Jimmy G goes to him more times than not on third down.
Yep.
So cash that. I think he got like 30 or so yards on 3 catches. And I didn't take the over 2.5 catches. He got 3, but that was like plus 130. That had really good odds. But I was like, he may catch like a fade or an out route here or there and get 2 catches for 25. And that's kind of how I thought. But good for him, man. He's really performing. And all Vol fans knew what he was going to do in the NFL. Not everything's about speed.
Well, hell, we got to watch him in high school.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I never would have thought he'd have been a wide receiver. I mean, he was quarterback at Blackman, but I didn't know what he was going to do. We saw him play quarterback for 4 years, and then like, okay, he's going to Tennessee. What did he go to Tennessee as? Was it just an athlete?
Immediately, he came in as a quarterback. He even played quarterback in the spring game. But I think the thought all along was he was going to get turned into type of like an athlete at Tennessee. He ended up by the end of his career mainly receiver, but early on, I say junior year, even senior year, he did get it in the Wildcat some, got to throw a few passes. But even in high school, I think I knew he was going to end up getting chance because he's such an athlete, man. The speed may not be there, but everything else is there. Speed not there for NFL. Don't get me wrong. He's still fast. He's still very fast, but that dude has more dog in him than a lot of people in the NFL, and they gave him a shot, and now they're loving it. That's Jimmy G's favorite target on third down. But
and that's awesome. It's always good to see.
But they're a good football team. But no, do I believe in Jimmy G to take them all the way through? I do not. But they're still, I mean, they're kind of like I would say they're a better version of the Colts. Solid defense, great weapons. Obviously, they don't have a Jonathan Taylor, but their Jonathan Taylor is a Deebo Samuel with a pretty good supporting cast. And then you have Jimmy G, who sometimes plays really, really well, sometimes really, really bad. But I would still take Jimmy G over Carson Wentz.
No question. And I tell you, Elijah Mitchell didn't play that bad at running back that game.
No, Elijah Mitchell's a great back, but he's not Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that's true. We also had Raiders and Bengals. I think I was on Raiders +6. I think I bought half a point. I know I still lost regardless of what I took. I mean, it was still close, 19-26. Lost by 7.
Yeah, it was a good football game. That was one of the rare good football games of the weekend,
Yeah, those referees aren't refereeing any more postseason games. Were they that bad? I watched the game. I mean,
it was pretty bad. The play they're talking about, I think I disagree with. To be mad at, because okay, by the rule, yes, the play should have been dead because there was an inadvertent whistle, probably half a second before the touchdown was caught. But at the end of the day, when watching it and when seeing it, it had no effect on the play. The dude was wide open in the end zone. The whistle was the ball was 3/4 to the wide receiver and the whistle blew. So by rule, it should not have counted. But in my opinion, of course, I don't have a dog in that fight. I wouldn't have been mad at it. But if I was a Bengals fan, or not a Bengals, a Raiders fan, yeah, maybe, because the rule book states it. But
yeah, I had no idea what was going on. I was at a bar and we just kind of saw it. I never really heard a whistle or anything. You obviously can't hear much there. But we saw it. I mean, just from the replays, it looked like the Raiders kind of gave up, like the cornerbacks, but it was either because they gave up because of the whistle or because he was so wide open and the ball was right there. I was like, oh, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, I think that was it, because the ball was 3/4 on the way. It wasn't even halfway. It was 3/4 there when the whistle was blown. So, and maybe they stopped because they saw Joe Burrow almost halfway in the air out of bounds. And maybe that's why they stopped it, because I don't think it definitely wasn't the whistle.
He wasn't even close to out of bounds. In my opinion,
he was close out of bounds, but he wasn't close stepping out of bounds. His whole body was like out of bounds. It was crazy.
He was probably 2 yards away from. I mean, realistically, if I'm a referee and I'm seeing that, and I'm watching it, I'm allowing the play to happen. And then if we need to go back and review it, let's go back and review it. Sure. You got to hold the whistle. That didn't make any sense.
100%. No, 100%. And they're done. Going to ref the rest of the playoffs. Yeah. So I wish they would do that more often. Either that or start finding them during the regular season, because they're bad all around, man. Yeah, I know sometimes they can't help it. I mean, they're only human, but dude, sometimes it's so blatant and they just mess up so bad.
Yeah, especially in big time games like that. You can't mess up on little calls like that.
Right. And I think I had in that game, my main bet was the over. I think it was 48 and they scored 45. So missed that. And then I said, if I didn't take the over, I'm almost positive I said I would take the Bengals -6, which it hit, but by 1 point. It wasn't, I didn't bet it during watching the game or anything, but just wanted to throw that out there.
Steelers and Chiefs, we won't talk about this long.
That is embarrassing, bro. Wasn't it like a lock of the week, or you got really hyped and you said sprinkle money line? Dude, I told you all along. The Steelers are the worst playoff team in history.
Hold on. So yeah, I mean they lost by quite a bit. Lost by 21. Here's my thing. They didn't play horrible. What's his name? Washington's first name? Number 9.
Deontay was the one dropping the balls.
Is that 19?
Huh?
Isn't that 19?
Deontay? 18 is Deontay.
Oh, whatever. 18, 19. Dude. I mean, it's 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 at what?
He dropped 40
balls. He dropped 2. He dropped 2 in the game.
I mean, my God.
And it's not like they were.
It's getting a first down.
It's not like they were on the other side of the 50. They couldn't move the ball the whole game.
Well, because they had punt. Hell, they punted 7 times in a row.
Because they stink.
They did suck.
They had no shot of winning that football game.
They
Zero
did.
shot.
They would just execute third down and catch the damn football.
You think the Steelers are scoring 34 points? You're out of your mind.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess the Chiefs did still score 42. I thought the defense.
Wait, what was the final? I thought it was 34-11 or something.
42-21.
Oh, 34-11 was the. Yeah, they're not scoring 42.
Yeah, they're not.
The Steelers?
I thought the defense.
The only reason they scored 21 is because they had garbage time points.
Did TJ not do that well?
Dude, TJ scored the touchdown, their first touchdown, but that wasn't him. It wasn't on him. He wasn't the one that created the fumble.
I thought they'd have put a little bit more pressure.
The Chiefs O-line's pretty good. They're young, but they're pretty good. I think I did pick Steelers plus 13 because it was a playoff game. Though I said it wasn't going to be close, but they may sneak in there at the end. Or I knew the Chiefs weren't going to be threatened. I just thought it was going to be a little bit closer. I didn't think this Chiefs would score 42. I thought they'd stick around like 31-ish. But yeah, I mean, you definitely ate your words there. Chiefs are a good football team. Patrick Mahomes, good football player, obviously.
I still think the Chiefs are overrated, man. I'm not strong on the Chiefs. We're going to see this weekend. But
I think that's just what your heart says, man.
They're not good.
I mean, they won like 9 straight games.
I just think it's more so the Titans have been so disrespected all year, and they still continue to talk about the Chiefs that I have a little hate against them. I think that's what it is.
Maybe. I don't know. They're a good football team. I mean, that's going to be okay. We're not going to talk about that, but that's going to be a heck of a game, I hope.
Patriots and Bills, we can talk about that quickly too. I mean, Bills scored every single drive. What do you want?
Yeah, that was pitiful. I had the Patriots +4. I'm never betting a game based on the temperature ever again.
No.
The weather, yes, like as in rain, snow, sleet, stuff like that, but not the temperature. Because it's not a factor when you get out there and you're playing. I thought it may be because Josh Allen has the best arm in the NFL and he throws it hard, but it didn't affect it, and they absolutely demolished the Pats.
Yeah.
The Pats were frauds, I guess. Either that or the Bills are very, very good. Maybe a combination of both.
They're hot, man. They're hot at the right time right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know why I took Pats +4. Looking back, I mean, Mac Jones' first playoff start.
And he didn't have a bad game. Yeah, he had 2 interceptions, but
I mean, yeah, it was there. I mean, I didn't expect their defense to give up a touchdown every drive, basically.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, that's brutal.
Literally,
Belichick did not have them boys ready to play, which is surprising.
Josh Allen had 5 touchdowns. So did Patrick.
Man, I know he has his faults sometimes on the accuracy part, but golly, he can play.
Dude, he's a baller, man. Eagles, Bucks, not even another no game.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, I mean, he can only do so much. Eagles can only do so much, especially against Tom. I mean,
yeah. It wasn't really Tom in this game, though. He did what he was supposed to do. The defense showed up this game.
They did. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's back healthy.
Yeah, and they dominated that half. The first half, they just completely dominated. Offense stalled out in the second half for the Bucks only because they were already up a lot. Like, why even? I'm surprised they left Tom in there as long as the whole game. I don't even think they ever put Gabbard in there, which is surprising to me because they had total control of that game, the entire game,
the whole game from the start of the whistle.
I wish there would be a consolation match. And I would love to see Eagles and Steelers battle it out because they're 2 of the worst playoff teams I've seen in a long time. I had Eagles +9, by the way, but it was. I think I said in the video, this is not because I think they're even going to come close to winning. I just thought they'd hang around 14-ish and then maybe score at the end. Jalen Hurts trying to get some extra stats in there or something. I don't know, but yeah, not even a good game.
The next game we got Cardinals and Rams. I mean.
Another complete terrible game, man.
We even tweeted it out. The big talk is Kyler Murray a little overrated? I mean, I hate talking about height because I'm short, but I think when it comes to Kyler, I think the height really does matter. I don't think he can see over the line. I could be wrong, and more so when you watch Josh Allen or like someone that's bigger, their balls are more on a line and firm. The way that we watched Kyler throw the football that game, it was more lollipops. I could be wrong. I'm not a quarterback. You were a quarterback. But I just feel like he has to get it over the line so it's more on a loop than more nice and firm. Does that have any impact at all?
I don't know because I don't agree with you. I think Kyler has one of the best arms in the league.
I'm not saying he has a bad
His
arm. I'm
arm
saying he
talent is
can't get it
crazy.
over. I'm not saying he has a bad arm. He could throw it.
See, I don't know because he uses a lot of arm angles though. He throws sidearm. He does all that,
and he does the best when he's getting out of the pocket because he doesn't have to throw it over somebody. I just feel
he
like
does the best out of the pocket because he's an athletic quarterback, and that's what athletic quarterbacks do.
I'm not saying he's an athlete. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm just saying I feel like he struggles sometimes when he's in the pocket. He can't get a ball to somebody that's running a slant because he has to like loop it over the line because he's so short. And like I said, I hate talking about short.
Maybe
I just didn't think
I'm not like I wish I could see what he was seeing.
Hell, he's 5'7". He's 1'8", trying to play in the NFL, dude. Like it just doesn't look good, man.
I hate going back to high school because it doesn't really matter anymore. But when I'm 5'10", and my average height on the line was 6'3", 6'4". I could see over the line. Maybe the short crossing routes, the 3-yard crossing routes that are meant to beat man or a blitz. Yeah, sure, those are a little bit harder. But when they're running, 10-ish yards down the field plus, no, I don't think he should have that much of a problem. And we tweeted out, is he overrated? Is he not? See, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I gave a few quarterbacks. I gave Tannehill the benefit of the doubt this year when Julio and AJ were gone, and Henry. I gave Tom, obviously because he's the GOAT, the benefit of the doubt for putting up a goose egg when his main guys were out in the game. You got to have a star out there, man. And DeAndre Hopkins isn't there. I'm not going to knock Kyler. I don't know if he's overrated or not. I don't think we have a big enough sample size. I think he's a darn good athlete. On the quarterback side, I don't know. I think he can make plays when needed. But I also believe you can't knock him. When DeAndre Hopkins is hurt and your next best wide receiver, obviously next best receiver would be Zach Ertz, but your next best wide receiver is Christian Kirk, you're going to have issues of getting open, especially when all they have to do is put Jalen Ramsey on Christian Kirk or Zach Ertz, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to knock him that much. We'll see about it next year. And you could definitely tell he was just trying to force it. Once they went down 14-0 and their defense looked awful and Matthew was out there dealing, which I'm so happy for. Golly, Stafford getting that first one was awesome. Once he saw that, he just started pressing. He was getting tackled, about to get a safety. He's like, okay, I don't want them to have 9 points. So he tosses it up and a pick six, a dumb decision. I guess take your medicine, get sacked, safety, hope your defense stops them. But it was a terrible game. The Cardinals just looked very unprepared.
Rams looked really good. I don't know if he threw it to Jalen Ramsey's way one time. I don't know.
I mean, why would you really? Dude can play.
He can play, man. It was, and we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about the Rams in just a second. All right. We got divisional round weekend. Game 1. Titans, Bengals.
Let's go.
What do you think?
What's the spread? Talk to me. What's the spread?
Titans minus 3.5. Over under is 47.5. You want to start or you want me to go? Oh, I got to tell you, I got my stat for you too. Or no, maybe it's not even.
I can start it. You go. And this isn't, hometown team. Obviously, been a Titans fan all my life, but this isn't going to be based on my heart. This is going to be based on my mind and what I see, what I saw in the Raiders game. I think that they're both lines of scrimmage of the Bengals aren't that strong. I still think Burrow comes out and performs. I saw a stat. He was like 24-0 in big games in his whole football career, dating back to like his senior year of high school. We're going to have trouble with Jamar. Fulton, hopefully it's on him sometimes. But I think we're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. I think we're going to get to Burrows a lot. And I think Mr. D. Henry, maybe not have a super big field day. First game back, I think he'll have a slowish first half, but I think that second half he's going to come out and dominate. I think we cover 3. I think the line of scrimmages are the biggest key in this game, and we have the stronger defensive line compared to their offensive line. We have the stronger offensive line compared to their defensive line. So that's where I'm thinking this is headed.
Stamp it. Blowout.
Got close to the camera too.
Blowout. The Bengals have no chance against the Titans. The Titans are getting no love at all. And all people are talking about right now is Joe Burrow this, Joe Burrow that, Joe Burrow this, Joe Burrow that. Yeah, he's a good quarterback. It's his second year. It's good that he came back strong after injury. But he's not no Ryan Tannehill. He ain't no Ryan Tannehill, Rhett.
What a 180 from where you were.
When it comes down to what you always say best, when it comes to 3 points, what do we pick? The better quarterback. And you know who that better quarterback is? Ryan Tannehill. Give me Titans big. So they're past, all this is just overhyped. Yes, Joe Burrow is good. Yes, I understand he's good. Him and Jamar Chase have this, connection is what it is. Great. They haven't played that many people in the past 4 to 5 games. They played the Broncos. They won 15-10. They played the Ravens with a atrocious secondary and everybody hurt. And yeah, they lit it up. Congratulations. They hadn't seen the Titans defense. The Titans defense is the best defense in the NFL, no question. That front seven is going to eat Joe Burrow alive. Their offensive line, worst in the league. And I tell you this too, Joe Burrow's QBR rating or quarterback rating goes down 36.4% when he is pressured. And he's going to see pressure all game long. It's in Nashville. This is the whole entire city versus everybody, man. Nashville versus everybody. And you're going to hear the stadium from Atlanta. I'm telling you right now. Titans big, end of story. See you in the AFC Championship.
I hope there are, man, but I hope there are. I hope we do pack it out with Titans fans, but from what I understand and what I know, there will be quite a few Bengals fans there too. Not because the Bengals can travel that well, but because everybody loves coming to Nashville. It's Nashville.
Yeah, it's Nashville. And I mean, realistically, I think Bengals fans are just happy they won one playoff game. They haven't won a playoff game since
they're talking crazy on Twitter and stuff.
Dude, they're talking.
They have the most confidence out of any team. Man. They won one playoff game in 30, 40 years, and they just think they're going to come in there and
104.5 the zone. 104.5 the zone. They've had Cincinnati people call in, and they're just talking all that shit. Hey, they can have it. We'll save it till on the field. We're way more physical. We're gonna absolutely dominate the Bengals. I truly believe that. And if not, I'll eat my words next week because it's gonna be kind of embarrassing.
I believe we're gonna win by at least 10. So but 3. I think 10 or so. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's more. Hopefully I don't have to sweat
it. Right. Next game is 49ers and Packers. Packers is 5.5. Man, this is the only team I'm scared of is the Packers. I think that's the only team in the NFL that can be the Titans. I like Packers big against the 49ers. I like 5.5. I mean, I'll obviously buy it down to 5 because I don't like the half points, but Packers -5 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's AR. I know in the past, maybe not the best playoff performer. Kind of like almost like he still performs. He's never really had a defense in the past, though. I was about to say almost like kind of like a Peyton Manning. Do really good during the regular season. Something happens in the AFC champion or NFC for him, NFC championship, obviously for Peyton AFC or divisional round. I think their defense is good enough to take them this year to the Super. Obviously their offense is, but I think their defense is good enough this year to, if somehow AR is struggling, their defense is good enough to help keep them in games while he is having some sort of off game. So it's still a big spread because like I told you, I do think the 49ers are good, but I'm going to eat my words from what I said earlier. I read a stat or I was watching a betting show and a person came on there with a stat that said just Jimmy Garoppolo has always played in warm weather games. And he's like 0-3 in cold weather games. And it's much different than what he's used to. And I saw that in the last 2 years, I don't think he's played a cold weather game all year. So I think that Lambeau cold is different. It's like a tundra.
They're saying that this is going to be colder than the Patriots and Bills last weekend.
And I tell you what, there is no better quarterback and no better wide receiver that I want in basically zero temperatures than Devontae, and especially when it's snowing, than Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, because Davante Adams, even in the snow, his routes remain the same crispness as it was before. You got deep. I mean, we watched it firsthand last year. Our DB slipping everywhere, and he's just, I mean, it's crazy to watch. At the end of the day, I'm taking Packers -5.
Always bet AR. And then we go to Sunday. We got Rams and Bucks. Rams are plus
Good game, man. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, Rams are +3. And it's in Tampa. What are you feeling?
Man, what a hard game. Rams, heck of a team. Bucks, heck of a team. Bucks don't have Chris Godwin, which really does hurt them.
Where's he? Is he hurt?
Yeah, he tore his ACL earlier this year. Oh, man, Matthew Stafford finally got the monkey off his back. I think he comes out. I think he plays loose. But like I said earlier, I can't go against Tom Brady, man. I just can't in the playoffs. I got to go. I'm not saying I'll take him in the NFC Championship. I'm going to ride that theory out all the way. And I honestly think the Rams might, on paper, have the better football team than the Bucks. Weather won't be an issue. It's away, but I don't find Tampa Bay being the scariest atmosphere ever. But I still got to go Tom -3. I'm really torn on that pick, but I'm not going against Tom.
I mean, that's why the Bucks are -3, because it's home field advantage. Mm-hmm. Normally they always give them, it's 50-50. They're going to give them home field advantage. Man, I really have no idea. I have no idea. OBJ and Matthew Stafford, it looked like last weekend they had a good connection, and they're starting to build something off that. OBJ looked really good. Cooper Kupp, obviously, it's Cooper Kupp. Cam Akers is back. He looks really good.
Man, he was running hard, and especially in that first quarter. He looked really good. And Cam Akers can play. That dude is a very good football player.
He's a dog. I don't like betting against the GOATs. I will never bet against Tom Brady. I will never bet against Nick Saban. Until now.
Wow, okay.
Nick Saban screw me in the national championship.
Is this the year of taking down the GOATs?
Screw it. Rams +3.5.
Okay, Rams +3.5.
Give me 3.5.
That's not as bold as I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna go money line or something. I can see it being a 3-point game. I see very easily. I can see an overtime game very easily.
Oh, no question.
We say that now. Somebody's gonna come out and blow the other team out.
Yep. But no, I think it's going to be very, very close. I think it's going to be the under 48, though. I do like the under 48. Both defenses are healthy. Both defenses look really good. Well, shit, I say the under, but then you got to look. Okay, Tom Brady's quarterback, Matthew Stafford's quarterback. They got OBJ, Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers. They got Rob Gronk. They got Gronkowski. They got Mike Evans. I'm assuming Leonard Fournette will be back next weekend.
Oh, interesting.
Man. Rams +3.5, I guess. I'm not confident. I just think it's gonna be a great game. And last but not least, Bills and Chiefs in Kansas City. Chiefs are -1.5. We talk about home field advantage always gets the 3. No, not this time. Over under is 54, so they think this is gonna be a dog fight. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't think they're good this year. I think they're overrated just because they have Mahomes. Bills are hot. I like Bills money line. I'm not going to take one. They can have them points. Give me Bills money line. 54 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
No, I'm staying away from that. Just give me Bills money line. Bills money line.
Okay. Oh, man. 2 one-dimensional offenses. I think Chiefs have a little bit better run game. The Bills have no run game. I think similar defenses. Both have looked great at times. Both have looked, subpar at times. I think this is a very even matchup. I really do. Josh Allen, hell of a quarterback. Patrick, hell of a quarterback. I think the difference in this one, I think the weapons on the Kansas City Chiefs are a little bit better. The Bills have Stephon, basically a wash with Tariq, but Kelsey's an outlier. He's 10 times better than Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox had a good year. I mean, I know he's not no Travis.
You ever put him in the category of Kelsey,
no,
bro?
I didn't put him in the same category. I just said don't.
You leaned in like that. No,
I said no, but I was saying don't disrespect Dawson Knox.
Go look at the stat. It's not even close. Kelsey's one of the best tight ends of all time. Dawson Knox.
Yeah, but I'm just saying don't disrespect Dawson Knox saying he ain't shit.
I didn't say he wasn't. I just said Kelsey's 10 times better because he is.
10 times?
10 times.
Damn.
Dawson Knox isn't the guy that's going to go get open. Dawson Knox is your safety outlet, and he can go get a jump ball. Kelsey runs crisp routes. He's quicker. He has better hands. He knows how to get open against zone defenses. There's nothing that Dawson does better except maybe run block. I could care less if Kelsey can run block or not. The Chiefs don't even run that often. Yeah. But close games, I think they're so close. Josh Allen and Mahomes. But I think beginning of the year, I would have said the Bills, but I think now that Mahomes looks really good, he's clicking, and he's not just slinging it down the field when he gets pressure. He's understanding he can just dump the ball off and get 5 yards, and that's okay. I think Mahomes has a slight edge. Now, after this game, I may not, because Josh Allen has, ever since the beginning of last year, has trended so far upward. That dude can play some football. I'm going Chiefs because they're at home, and Arrowhead is crazy. That place is the best.
Money, right?
What?
You gonna take money line?
Yeah, I mean mine as well. Yeah. But Arrowhead's the loudest and the best. I guess Buffalo could be too. Buffalo and Arrowhead are the two loudest and best. Seattle, but they sucked this year. Are the two loudest and best atmospheres in football, especially when they get I call it the Braves chop because we did it first. When they start doing
yeah.
I think that's awesome. I'm going Chiefs, and a close one. I hope
we get some good games this weekend. Do you have any more bets for the viewers that watch for tonight or tomorrow?
We just tweeted out going with the hometown team, Preds money line, and under 6 goals. There's only 3 NBA. If you ever see an NBA prop, it's probably me. I love studying that kind of stuff. I love looking at NBA props. There's only 3 games tonight. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything because Steph's been so hot and cold. His line's about 26.5. That could be a blowout. They play the Pacers coming off a back-to-back. Luka over, I think it's about 25.5, maybe 26.5. He's had some good games here lately. I wouldn't touch it. No. I mean, only a 3-game slate. There's nothing crazy there. But you probably will see, I'm going to keep riding my boy Darius Garland whenever they play. That dude's been a cash cow for me. He's awesome.
Who does he play for?
The Cavs. He's their point guard.
Cavs. Okay.
And if you checked it out yesterday, I had Darius Garland over 19.5 points. And then I even called it. I said AO, point guard for the Bulls, because Lonzo's been out, was going to over 3.5 assists. And if you wanted the same game parlay, you could, because they played the Cavs. And I even said AO probably will first half cash, and it did. Any point guard, any starting point guard, and you give them, that's pretty solid. He's a rookie, and he's really a solid rookie. That you give me a 3.5 assist line. I mean, come on, man.
They play tomorrow. The Bulls play tomorrow night against the Bucks. And it's not Lamar. What's his name? What ball is that? Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is out again. So we'll be
check out the assist line for AO.
Yep.
And on FanDuel. So yesterday, since I'm in Georgia, I don't have FanDuel. But yesterday I really would have. I don't have the app. I had to get someone to tell me what the line was for that. You could have laddered that up too. 8+ assists was going for plus 1,500 for AO, and it hit. I mean, that's crazy odds there. And I would have tweeted out because I even said first half cash. I knew he'd get over 3.5 assists. 4 times 2 is 8. So, I mean, if I would have known the odds on that for FanDuel, I probably would have said that as well. I mean, that's crazy odds for a starting point guard. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people may have eaten on that line. So I'm expecting that line to at least be 5.5 or 6.5 tomorrow. But still, even at 5 or 6.5 is good odds.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, check us out on Twitter. Check us out on TikTok. I post recap videos of our videos of the week. Other than that, you got any last words?
Go Titans, go Preds.
Tighten up, baby. All right. We will see y'all next week for episode 11.
Peace.
See y'all.